after. When I did my video this morning, when I did my live stream this morning, I was on my way to my workout. And as I am doing this one, I'm leaving my workout. So this is a before and after. This is how you know you done really worked out. See, my little cheeks are flushed. My little hair is sweated out. My clothes are wet. Like I'm wet. So good workout. Feels good. But anyway, something came to my mind that I am suddenly hearing a lot of, and I want to speak on it because it's a silencing tactic. And silencing tactics usually work against the best interests of black women and femmes. And so I'm going to speak on it because that's who I am a protector of. That is who I speak for. That is who I dedicate my empowerment rituals and empowerment information to. All right? A woman explaining to you and describing to you in detail the ways that she has been harmed by men, or a woman creating a system through which she can show you the intricate machinations, the ways in which men premeditate the harm of women. A woman speaking out against the ways that she sees women being harmed in society. A woman writing a book about the ways that women are harmed. A woman teaching classes about how to avoid harm and how to stay out of harm's way. A woman taking the time to make videos, to make live streams, to discuss in any sort of public forum the ways in which she has been harmed by men and how to avoid that harm. None of that is a gender war. That is not a gender war. I am so sick and tired of every time women speak up against the types of harm that are commonly used against us in society every day for centuries, about the types of harms that we watched our grandmothers and our mothers and our older sisters and our aunties, and sometimes even, God forbid or shun forbid, our daughters go through. Every time a woman speaks up about this, somebody wants to come and say, oh, I'm so tired of these gender wars. That's not a gender war. It is not a gender war for me to speak about the harm that was done to me and the women in my family and the women in my circle. It is not a gender war for me to warn other women that these are the machinations, these are the schemes and plots that are being used to try to harm you. That's not a gender war. Because why wasn't it a gender war when people were sitting up figuring out ways to harm us? Why wasn't that a gender war? Why didn't anybody say when men were sitting in groups, when men were being taught how to harm women, why didn't anybody say, raise their hand and say, I'm so tired of these gender wars? Nobody said it then. It wasn't a war then. It felt like a goddamn war against us, but suddenly that wasn't a war. But when women begin to speak out against these ways that they have been harmed, when women begin to uncover the ways in which women are commonly harmed, when women begin to share with other women, specifically younger women or more naive women, the types of harms that they should look out for, suddenly it's a gender war. And suddenly, oh, black men and black women, can't we come together? I'm tired of these gender wars. Let's just come together and love one another. Where was that sentiment when you guys were sitting in groups figuring out ways to harm us? Why weren't y'all thinking about coming together and loving us then? Why is it only now that we are speaking out against the harm and teaching other women about it so that they can bypass it and completely and totally live a life free of it? Why now is it suddenly a gender war? Why now does it suddenly have to end? Why now do we suddenly have to come together in peace and love and let's love one another? That's what you should have been doing from the beginning. That's what you should have been doing in the first damn place. But now that women have platforms, and forums where they can speak out. Now that women are using social media to tell their stories and to make these things crystal clear and to unpack and uncover all of the different ways that we are being used and abused and mistreated and oppressed, suddenly now it's a gender war. Suddenly now, oh, let's kumbaya and come together and hold hands and let's just love one another. We was trying to love y'all in the first place. That's what we were always trying to do, right? So me telling my story, me sharing dangers with you, me showing you things that you need to avoid, me making sure that you are aware of the pitfalls in front of you and the holes and pits that people are digging in front of you for you to fall into. None of that is a gender war. None of that is a gender war. That is for the protection and the empowerment of Black women and femmes. That's what that is. Me protecting myself and people who look like me and people who are like me empowering myself and people who look like me and who are like me. It's not a war. It's not a goddamn war, right? So please stop falling into the trap. That's just people trying to silence you. That's just people who don't want you to tell your story, who don't want you to speak on these realities, and who want to keep everyone else around you naive so that those people can continue to be victims and prey. That's all that that is. So if I see one more bullshit post about, I'm so tired of these gender wars, I am going to explode. That's not a gender war. It was a gender war when you decided that you were going to harm women as a lifestyle. It was a gender war when you made the harm of women your whole goddamn personality. That's when it was a gender war. Me speaking out against that and me trying to protect other women from that is not a war, it is protection. And every living being is born with the impetus to protect themselves. Self preservation is the first goddamn law. And so women wanting to step up and protect themselves is not a goddamn war. It is protection. Stop that shit. Cease that shit. Cease believing it. Cease listening to it. Stop listening to it. Stop falling for it. If people say, oh, she hates men. Oh, it's the part of a gender war. Nah, none of that is true. Me protecting myself from people who are harmful does not constitute hatred of anybody. It constitutes a deep and abiding love for myself and the people like me. Right? So I'm tired of that shit. That shit came to me as I was leaving my workout class, leaving my fitness class, and I was like, let me go on and throw this on up here. Quick little short little video. Ain't got nothing else to say, but did want to get that good life-giving word out here on this Saturday morning. Well, now it's afternoon, but y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss to all within the sound of my voice who are wishing the same for me and mine. And as always, we wish the lessons of life, possibly on the end of a pearl handle 22. All praises to my mama on those who are wishing us otherwise.